Good morning, welcome back. And if it's your first time here, well, welcome to Ecocentric. Sometimes there's things that needs to get done that you've got to do when the inspiration strikes. And just last week, the inspiration did strike for me to do that rhubarb patch that I've been talking about for a couple of years now. There's a little bit of a chill in the air, but the temperature is up about 19 degrees. So I'm back in my shorts. I'm going to be doing some heavy work, and you want to keep as cool as possible. Going to move this rhubarb today. This patch has been here, well, at least back when my grandmother lived here. The border, I just put a border around it to make it look like it was always a bed here, but it was just a patch of rhubarb. The soil is going to be a little tight. I never did move this patch, and so this is why there's all the weeds are in here, because like I said, I never done anything with it really. I'm going to have to dig and loosen everything up with the digging fork, and then we'll get out the rhubarb roots and sift through the soil. Let's see how well that works. That's one root. One of the nice things about having a border on your bed, when you have to use this, you can put your fork up against the border on one side, put your foot against the border on the other side, and really give a good force to get out stubborn weeds. Not worried about getting out every root, because I'm going to dig through this and sift it out. I'm going to skip over the center portion and come right back here to see if I can get up the few roots that are here, because they too produce them little spindly stalks. I took the roots of the rhubarb that produces the spindly stalks, and I threw it over the embankment over by the shore, because I have some over under the apple tree, so I didn't need those. Because the temperatures are still hanging around 15, 16 degrees for the average, This rhubarb is growing again after I took everything down. There's still some more stalks growing up there, but you can't kill this stuff anyway, so that won't hurt. What I'm wondering is no. I was wondering if I'd be able to just pull it out. See? The roots get huge. I can take this and bury it over there, and this will grow. Even though I just tore it off from the main thing and there's no stalk coming out over here. When the roots on rhubarb get large like that, you can just chop them apart and then separate and put them as different rootstock. Spread them out. You see, this is going to be an excellent root now to put down. And what am I going to get out of here? I have never dug these up, see, so they're halfway down to China. Good job, I got a fiberglass hand though, I say. Holy, the root is coming out here. Now, where does that root go? It's quite the root for a rhubarb plant. And then there's this one I broke off here. Don't know where that goes. Like I said, if it hadn't gone horizontal, it'd be halfway to China. Now I broke it off, it's about 1 inch across up here. Hey, you can't kill them. Oh, there's a rhubarb leaf coming up there, so this is another good piece. Now I could probably set this and it'll grow. We'll see what we got, of course. And if I need pieces, then I'll get them, but the ones that are just roots, I'll put right there for now. I mean, so those 3 massive roots that you see me take out there, that was one plant. Oh, I broke that off, that's okay. Oh, there was one big root on this one right here. You can kind of see where all the roots are here. Oh, there's a little spindly stalk there. I don't know about that root. It had big roots, so there's roots down there. I don't know if the roots that I leave there, because even when I dig it over, there's going to be roots down so deep, I assume, that I'm not going to get all the root out. So, we shall see. Feels like there's one right there. Yep. They're pretty big, see, you can just tap it and you can feel that the fork has jammed into some big lump. This one's going to be another one though. Get that up now, oh yeah. And I'm going to have to split it right there, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to get it out. So I'm going right down in the middle of it now. I'm going to break it into two pieces. So you see, so I've broken that piece off. I think this one's a large one as well. Oh dear, it's got a root going out that way. I have to see where I can split it. There's some leaves coming up here, and here, and here. So I can split it across this way. Actually, there's a leaf there too. See, they have leaves in bunches, and the centerpiece, there's nothing coming out. So I could split this at each, so I'd have a bunch of leaves at each one. So here's what I'm talking about. We've got some leaves coming there. There's leaves coming right there. There's leaves there. And you see there's one starting right here. But there's nothing in here. So there's a little knob coming here. I can take this and cut it straight down through the roots here. And then cut it across here and here. And I'd have 4 pieces that I can set as 4 different rhubarb plants. So as I was saying that, the idea popped into my mind. I'm going to use this shovel and split that now. I'm turning it backwards because that way it's easier for me to get it right straight down. So now that's that piece cut nicely. That's our second piece. And unfortunately, there's a big root running out that way. I'm just going to have to cut it off because I can't dig up over there. See? There, we got 4 different rhubarb plants. Separate rhubarb plants. Now, before I go any further, I gotta sit down and I gotta clean everything out to make sure I've got all of the weeds out of this, not just transferring my issue I had there over to the new patch. So I'll just do that and then I'll bring you back and show you what we've got and whether we're going to divide anything else. 12 pieces. I've got all the weeds not cleaned out of them. This one I could cut if I wanted to. This one I could cut across right here. This one don't have any growth showing. I could cut it right in half if I wanted to. And those are already small. I'm going to have to cut this big root off of this one because, I mean, how am I supposed to plant that, right? But they're already, that won't kill it. It'll come back. I went in to check just to confirm how far they're supposed to be apart. And it says 3 to 4 feet. That means only 2 plants will go here and only 2 plants will go over there. Now the other nice thing, when I checked that, they also said what can you plant. There was a thing popped up, what can you plant with rhubarb, so I clicked on it, and your cole crops, cabbage, broccoli and the like, are good companions for rhubarb. So that's nice. I can just have rhubarb on the inside half and cabbage on the outside half, just like I got here. Now that being said, I've only got room for 4 plants, right? The other thing that came up was that, oh, rhubarb needs full sun, it can tolerate part shade. And I'm like, rhubarb grows in full shade, I've got it growing under the apple tree. But now I'm wanting to experiment. Especially considering I got 12 plants. I only got room in the shade for 4. So I think I'm going to redo this bed, sift it all out and make it all sensible, and plant 4 plants back there. Then, well, I guess I'll just have to do away with the other 4. I'll take 4 right now that has growth on them, the ones that are going to be easier to plant back there, and then tomorrow I'll get the other ones. So this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. They'll be easy to plant back there. Now you should be able to see, I got you close enough. You see this little knob here, another one here, another one here. This is the crowns that pokes up above the soil, and this here is the root crown. When you plant these, you plant it so that this part is 1 to 2 inches below the soil. So next year your shoots will come up from these bumps on the crown. I've got the big shovel. No need to be fiddling around with a little teaspoon. And because the bed is only 3 feet across, then I'll just put 1 in the center and then go down about 3 feet and put another one. Now I did put quite a bit of compost on this last spring. The soil down around and underneath. Now you notice I just have it barely beneath the soil here, soil level, but I'm going to get some of that hen's manure bedding that I took out in the spring, so it's been sitting all summer composting, and I'm going to put another layer on top. And now for this one out here. Oh dear, I got dirt in my boot. Gotta poke it down under, see, because how those roots were, and they're so thick. If you just throw it on top, then you have a big air gap underneath your plant. That's that. And I'll do the same with those two over there. Now, I didn't bother to break up the clumps. And it's planted as per instructions. Then we've got these two over here. With plenty of compost. So as long as it gets its moisture, it wants well-drained soil, but regular moisture. So basically just like any other garden plant. Dug it out and sifted it, same as I did with the onion beds, and loosen up the subsoil there. And since I'm that far, might as well put in an organic core in the bed. I stuffed these two compost bins here full several times with meadow clippings, and so that's the meadow clippings from one, and there's a bunch in that other one. That's what I'm going to use for the core of that bed. When you're trying to redo a rhubarb patch or move it, you need to dig through the entire patch anyway, because you see, and there's quite a few. When you're digging it out, if I were to just take off the vegetation on top, then next year this would have sprouted and messed up what I was trying to do here. And there will be several throughout the patch that you'll miss. So you've got to dig over and turn over every piece of soil. So we've got a meadow clippings core. This is all sifted, layered back on top. And now we're going to select 4 from here to set in that bed. And we're going to plant that. I'll take that one and this one. The reason I'm taking the ones that has growth on them is because I'm figuring that they're the most vigorous. Not that I have to. Any of these will grow next spring. This bed is just shy of 10 feet long. I've laid them out like this, so they're a little less than 3 feet. I'll check and see. I got a measuring tape somewhere. See, on center, 2.5 feet. I had to dig down into the subsoil to get these down, but for this one there's a big rock down there, so that's as deep as I can get them. Got this one down to soil level, and this one. And this one was the smallest one, so of course he got down there. Now, more important I think than the organic core is the organic top. I think you should never leave your mineral soil like this exposed to the air. Always have an organic layer on top. And of course here's our organic material. I'm going to dig out now and I'll sift it so that I can get a nice looking layer. There we go. A little deeper organic matter on this end because that one was too high up. If I can keep this maintained now, then you'll see what a properly maintained rhubarb patch is like. No promises, no promises. I'm just saying that I do have a good start here now for a nice looking rhubarb patch. Then we got a bit of a dry day, so I was able to go and mow the meadow. And you see, with the plants planted out, spaced out like this, I can mulch this area as deep as I want. But putting them over the crowns, I fear that you'll have this mulch packed down, and a constant rotting mulch on top of the crown may cause the crown to rot as well. So that's why I have the opening left. All of the rhubarb stalks, it will come up from this area. Now they'll grow big and they will cover out the whole bed. but they will be coming up from the centralized areas. So every fall I can cut off the stalks and reapply mulch out around like I have done here now. So I'm happy with that. Another step forward in 2022. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, if it's your first time here and you'd like to follow along, make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next video.